You know those days, right, where you wake up and it feels like you're just moving through mud? Your brain's all foggy, you're kind of irritable, and you just feel off. And you think, oh, I must have slept bad, or I'm just stressed. But what if the real reason is way simpler? What if it's something hiding in plain sight? Well, today we are diving deep into that hidden saboteur that could be totally wrecking your day: dehydration. I mean, really think about it. That mid-afternoon brain fog where you can't even put a sentence together, or that wave of exhaustion that just hits you out of nowhere at your desk. It happens to all of us, but we almost never stop and ask if our body is just missing its most basic, most important fuel. So let's explore exactly what's going on inside your head when you're running on empty. All right, so the first thing we gotta do is bust a huge myth. Most of us live by a simple rule, right? I'll drink when I feel thirsty. But according to the experts, that's like waiting for the fire alarm to start blaring before you decide to deal with the smoke. Your thirst, it turns out, isn't a friendly reminder. It's a late-stage warning signal. By the time your brain finally makes you feel thirsty, the damage is already being done. And you know, the bar for that damage is shockingly low. We're not talking about being stranded in a desert here. We're talking about mild dehydration, which is just a 1.5% drop in your body's water. For someone who weighs about 150 pounds, that's losing less than 2.5 pounds of water. You can get to that point so easily just during a normal day, sitting at your desk, running errands, long before you even think, I'm kind of thirsty. Okay, so what is actually causing that foggy, out of it feeling? This is where things get really, really interesting. We're about to look at the direct, physical effects that even a little bit of dehydration has on the most important organ you've got, your brain. Just let that sink in for a second. Dehydration causes your brain tissue to literally shrink. No joke. Picture a grape turning into a raisin. An fMRI study actually watched this happen. As your brain tissue physically pulls away from your skull, the fluid-filled spaces in the middle of your brain, they're called ventricles, have to expand just to fill up the empty space. This is a dramatic, physical change happening inside your head, all because you skipped a few glasses of water. Now, what that shrinkage actually means for your brain's performance is fascinating. That same study found that when your brain is dehydrated, it has to work way, way harder to do the same task. It's firing off way more neurons just to get the same results as a brain that's fully hydrated. It's kind of like you're flooring the gas pedal in your car just to go 20 miles per hour. It's super inefficient and it puts a massive strain on the whole system. But this physical stress, it isn't just about thinking power. It has a huge effect on how you feel, your emotions. That random irritability, that sudden feeling of being anxious for no reason, yeah, it might have more to do with your water bottle than you think. And this shows the chaos perfectly. Just think of it like a seesaw. As your water level goes down, your body starts pumping out more of the stress hormone, cortisol. And as that cortisol goes up, it pushes down on all the good stuff, like the feel-good chemical serotonin. This one little imbalance can be the reason you feel more stressed out, on edge, and just plain exhausted. So here's the kicker. That hormonal shift can physically feel exactly like anxiety. When that cortisol spikes, it throws your body into fight or flight mode. Your heart might start racing, your muscles get tense, you might breathe a little faster. You can have all the physical symptoms of anxiety, even when there's nothing at all to be anxious about. It's your body's physical reaction to just needing water. And this isn't just some vague, oh, I feel kinda off thing. No, you can actually measure this stuff. Take a look at this data from a study on women. With just a little over 1% dehydration, their fatigue scores jumped, headaches more than doubled, and get this, perceived task difficulty shot up by over 50%. What that means is the exact same task literally felt harder to do just because they were dehydrated. Okay, so that was all the bad news. But here is the really cool part. None of this is permanent. In fact, it's incredibly easy to reverse. So let's look at what happens when you finally give your brain the drink it's been begging for. To see this in action, one study took a group of college students and had them go without water for 36 hours. Yeah, a full day and a half. They tested their mood and their brain function, then they had them drink a good amount of water and tested them again just 1 hour later. And the results? They were amazing. Would you look at that number? In just 1 hour, their fatigue scores dropped by almost 50%. That crushing exhaustion that had been building for a day and a half was cut in half in 60 minutes. It's just an incredible example of how fast your body and your brain can bounce back. And it wasn't just about feeling less tired.
Their brains literally snapped back into focus too. Their scores on a short-term memory test shot up by 16% in that same hour. It's a super clear, super fast connection. Drinking water doesn't just make you feel better, it makes you think better, and it happens almost instantly.
So the evidence here is undeniable. Staying hydrated is one of the biggest and honestly one of the easiest things you can do to boost your mental and emotional game every single day. So let's get practical. How can you start building a better hydration habit, like today? Psychologist Dr. Susan Albers has these two awesome, super simple hacks. First up, front load. Just drink a big glass of water right when you wake up. You're always dehydrated after sleeping for hours, so this just sets your brain up to win for the rest of the day. Second, habit stack. Don't just try to remember to drink water, because that never works. Instead, tack it onto a habit you already have. Every time you make coffee, drink a glass of water first. Every time you sit down to check your emails, take a few sips. Easy.
And hey, there are other easy wins too. Just carrying a water bottle around makes a huge difference. You can also literally eat your water. Things like cucumbers, watermelon, grapes are full of it. And if you think plain water is boring, jazz it up. Try seltzer, add some fresh fruit, and maybe just keep an eye on things that dehydrate you, like a ton of coffee or alcohol. At the end of the day, the link between water, your mood, and your mind is it's a no-brainer. It's one of the simplest, most powerful ways to fight off that daily brain fog, that fatigue, and that irritability. So looking at all these simple ideas, which one are you going to pick? What's the very first step you'll take right now to give your brain the fuel it's been asking for?